What's up, Sagittarius? Welcome to my channel. Tarot by the Intuitive Teacup. Got a little hangman energy there. Welcome to your September monthly tarot reading. The majority of this will be career and finances. The very tail end, I will slide in some messages about love, romance, relationships if you are looking for that. I will timestamp it below so you can hop directly to love, but majority of this will be career, finances, etc. Mainly because I only do that once a month, so let's get you some good messages regarding jobs, internships, retirements, payouts, loans, anything that wants to come through for money. Ooh, the lovers. All right. So my general spiel here on YouTube, I do general messages. That means not everything I say will resonate with every single one of you Sagittarians out there. Please come into this reading with an open heart and an open mind. If something doesn't fit your circumstance or scenario, push it aside, release it, drop it like it's hot. Don't act on those messages if they don't resonate with you, right? Give yourself the luxury of time. Messages will sometimes resonate in a few days, in a few weeks, even in a few months. If that's the case, take it and run with it. But yeah, anything that feels strange or foreign, assume it's going out to someone else who needs to hear it. Never be offended if it is not your message, okay? Those are the general rules, Saggy. Everything else down in the box below. You got a lot of cards. I love it. Including the decks I'm using here today, as well as my social media channels. I'm the Intuitive Teacup on Facebook, Instagram.com, all that. If you want to book a personal, right down below. Should we hop in? Let's hop in. All right. Sag, how you doing? You've been good? You got great cards. You have a lot of major arcana. Empress, one of my favorite cards to see in a finances reading. The Empress has money attached to it. Money, money, money. Empress is the one who builds the empire. She is the counterpart of the emperor. Both are right at the same level of power. It's not a gender thing. They're just a natural pairing in that sense. But a lot of earth energy here. It's connected very strongly to Taurus as well as Libra. Taurus is the second house of money, possessions, finance. So excellent card to be bottom of the deck. And peeking out its head is also a card of victory. The Chariot, a card of Cancer, involves travel very frequently, the balance of our internal energies, as well as more traveling cards. Sagittarius, you never. No, with the Chariot, I should put them next to each other. The Chariot and the Six of Swords, there is movement, there is great strides, there's victory, there's accomplishment, there's a sense of pride here. It's kicking ass and taking names. Is that what we should call it? Is that the name of your video? All right, let's do it. Oh, but what are you running away from? So that's the major question being posed to you under all that. It's not necessarily bad, right? The Seven of Swords, it has to do with our thoughts. Sorry for the camera focus. It kind of goes in and out. Are we willing to leave something behind? Are we leaving something behind purposely so we can return to it later? Maybe that has to do with the organization of your business. If you're just getting it started and there's pieces and parts all over the office, it's like, I'll deal with that later. Like, let's focus on what I can control. So again, it's sort of, with the Seven of Swords for me, it's like leaving the door open to go back for something, but you're not sure you need it right now. Does that make sense? For some of you, it may have been starting a degree or a program and realizing, this is not for me, but I'll take the knowledge I have now. I'll take what I got so far, you know? But I mean, just to be blunt, with the Seven of Swords, there is a sense of, you know, let's be honest, in a relationship, it's sometimes what we call like the liar, cheater, thief card. Like there's a little bit of energy attached to this. It's a moon. It's the moon in Aquarius. So again, there's a little bit of mystery. There's a little bit of, you could say dark energies, but yeah, let's kind of dig deeper and see what that is. Under that is Ace of Pentacles. So beautiful. Overall, very strong cards. All right. Excuse me. My voice is kind of scratchy this morning. In fact, do I have water? Oh, praise baby Jesus. Give me 1 second. All right, Sag, let's do it. Sorry about that. Are you waiting to hear back from either a job application or something you put out? Or it feels like you reached out to a friend, possibly a friend who lives at a great distance from you or someone you haven't seen in a while. I assume it's regarding a job. Maybe it's regarding some money they owe you or vice versa. But there's a sense of uncertainty on if you will hear back or if your words were interpreted accurately, or there's a sense of anticipation. And I mean, that makes sense for you, Sagittarius, a fire sign. You tend to be pretty quick on your feet, right? So there's a sense of like, well, I did my part. Why are they not reaching out? So here's the thing. Something very positive comes from that, but it might not be from the person you reached out to initially. So this is you, Sag, male or female, contemplation, a sense of waiting, of, you know, what Sorry, I'm such a dork. I don't know what that was. Anyway, what is to come? What will be? He rests his feet in the 4 position, the upside down 4. 4s in tarot indicate a sense of safety, the comfort zone, the this, the that. But you're ready. You're eager to transition, but it's almost like the transition opportunity doesn't fully rest with you. You're waiting to hear back. So here's where it gets a little bit complicated because yes, the person is there, but they're at a distance. Notice these two are not looking at each other, right? So there's a sense of, well, I want this from them, but are they, like, do they want to work with me or whatever? Especially if you work in sales and you're reaching out to clients. There may be one particular client or investor you're very interested in. I think you got a keen eye on them. They seem to have wandering eyes or just not being, they're not convinced that you're the one to work with yet, right? However, that could possibly turn into, yes, I want to work with you. 2 of Cups is a perfect match. It's great. It's set in stone. Or it could indicate if you're putting out feelers, again, with interviews, with applications, with whatever it is that you do, you are going to get a really good match, and it's a victory. It's a celebratory one. It's going to be kick-ass. You're going to feel really good, really confident, really steady about that one. So I'm going to be blunt with you. I don't know if this is the same one. My intuition says it's not. My intuition says cast a wide net. Because the one that you're banking on, it's not to say it won't work out, but there's hesitation, like kind of at best. Now, given time, it could turn into someone being like, you know what, like I've asked other people, I've done this, I've done that, I'm going to go with your product, Sagittarius. Yes, sign me up. It could be that, or it could be that I'm being called to say something about higher stakes. I think because this is the major arcana, it's like, that guy, like headhunter, I want him. That's the one. He has the resume. He has the skills. Like, I want to recruit him for my team. There's something about this that you may be Jupiter energy. Not rose-tinted glasses, but the idea of bigger is better. Major arcana versus 2 of Cups. This to me is saying the victory actually lies with the minor arcana for those who are familiar with tarot. If not, no big deal. Big, kind of little, mediocre. But spirit, universe, God, whatever you believe in, is saying this is where the key lies. Because if you're bringing someone on board, Sag, and I'm just posing ideas here, this person may come in guns a-blazing and you know, firing on all cylinders, knows how to do the job, but they might not last as long, in which case you hired an employee and they're going to leave in 2 months. This one, you may have to train them, you may have to nurture them a little bit more, but they're there for 6 years. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're there to grow with the company. So I wouldn't necessarily dismiss something by its appearance alone. There's a need to dig deeper and to really think about the options or the opportunities. And maybe this is you going into a job, right? Again, it could be the one that pays you more. From the get-go sounds amazing, but if they're a startup, maybe they're going to go broke in a year, right? It could be that whatever this is, there's a very strong success rate with the one you view as just okay versus the one that you're like, that's it. And I'm not at all trying to deter you from this. I'm not saying this couldn't work out, but with the victory card showing up over the 2 of Cups, this is the one I'm steering you towards. I'm even being called to say the one-on-one with the 2 of Cups, possibly a smaller company or working on one-to-one sessions versus leading the group, leading the charge, being part of a multi-million-dollar corporation. Again, use your discernment, use your judgment. I'm never telling you don't, or do for that matter. It's up to you. I'm just presenting you with the energies. This one is shaky. You guys understand. I'm reinforcing the same message. Let's see if we can find out a little bit more why. Yeah, money obviously is a concern for you. You want to make the right move money-wise. You want to gain a lot and not spend too much. Obviously, I think that's pretty much everybody's goal, right? Yeah, exactly. This one's being clarified by the moon. The moon is not a terrible card by any means. It's actually a card of Pisces. Maybe something about this opportunity involves a Pisces. But again, it's not a surefire deal. The moon involves mystery. We think of, being out in the moon. It's dark. It's shadowy. We can't see anything. We're depending on that light in the sky, which it's not the sun, it's the moon. So it's almost like you have to wander down the path a little to really see what's going on. You kind of got to test the waters out with this person. And again, you might bring them on and suddenly realize, oh, there was like a little bit of mystery about this person, or a little bit of, I don't want to say deceit. I think that's too strong a word, or too malicious. It's not that. Not everything is out in the open here. There's a little bit that is not exposed. Unlike these people. But that's exactly what the metaphor is. These people are laying it out for everything to see, right? They're vulnerable, they're naked, they are who they are. This is a little bit more buttoned up. It's like, oh, well, I'm not going to show you everything yet, right? And I don't mean that in the sexual sense, but if we're going with the metaphor here, there's uncertainties, there's unknown factors about this one. Let's talk about this one. The Four of Swords. Yeah, something about this opportunity will bring you peace of mind. It won't be as stressful. It could be if there is a team dynamic or a group involved, these people are more simpatico. These people just work together more intuitively. They understand each other. There's a good vibe. And there's recognition and success. This is a card of all eyes on you. Accomplishment, victory, getting through the thick of it when it was really stressful or really competitive or just a lot of things going back and forth. This is like you made it to the finish line and you're like, yeah, dude, what's up? Hey, you. Like, it's almost like you're walking slow-mo through the hallways of your workplace and everyone's just like, you know, you've seen those montages in like movies where it's bananas. Everyone's like looking at you like, oh, hell of a job, Sagittarius. Like, I'm not trying to be cheesy, but I'm keeping it light because you guys are Sag. You get it, right? Let's keep it light. That feels very positive to me. I hate that my throat is scratchy. I'm so sorry, guys. And then it's being clarified by Four of Swords. Four of Swords is about sleeping well at night. Peaceful. It's recuperation after heartbreak. So especially if you were experiencing some sort of financial loss or disappointment or something going on in your personal life that was a little bit of like aw, shucks. This will somehow contribute very positively to your life. And I know this sounds very extreme and kind of cheesy, but it's almost like it initiates a period of healing and rest for you. You will sleep peacefully at night knowing you made this choice. That's sort of how I feel. Now, for those of you who know exactly what these opportunities are in your life or for you or how this works, let's play devil's advocate. Why not? Let's look at this. Let's see what else is under the moon, under the mysteries. Ten of Pentacles is bottom of the deck. Yep, so there's very likely a larger price tag or more money attached to it. Now, if this is something that you're doing the payout of, if you're hiring candidates, if you're bringing products or whatever on board, it could say this is the greatest and the best product on the market. Your business needs this, You take it, but then you get slapped with a lot of fees that you didn't see coming, or it ends up being a money suck in the long run. Because something about the reputation of we're so flashy, but it's not about the substance. That's what I mean. This is going to be a little bit more slow to the get-go, especially if it's a person you're bringing on board or a team you're working with. They may not work at that lightning pace you're used to. But here's the thing with that. It may start off slow, but especially if you're joining the company, you may prove your abilities very quickly. And because you work so fast or whatever the situation is, because you can do this with your hands tied or your eyes closed, however you want to say it, you may get promoted very quickly, in which case the price tag of this that was so appealing may actually go right to this from, very early on. This is a fantastic card, the Six of Wands. And it's that fire energy too. So, that's even more of a confirmation for you being a fire sign. There are positive fire element cards here. All right, but yes, let's play devil's advocate assessment though. I'm still getting the same message for this. What is this? Could be a situation where you don't like who you work with. You may end up with, again, getting the dream job, but management changes, and all of a sudden you're under this person and you freaking hate them. Do you know what I mean? There's more to be seen here than just what they're trying to lure you in with, the glitz and the glamour or whatever this opportunity is. And I'm not trying to shit on your parade, Sagittarius. Yeah, it has something to do with the group environment as well. I've given you this message too before. Something about the energies don't jive. Yes, it's the Three of Cups. It's exciting. It's celebratory. It's chatty, socialization. It's people who like to have fun. But it's almost this sense of, but I'm not part of that. I feel isolated. Why don't these people like me? Which, again, is no reason why you should not take a job. I want to be very clear about that. Haters gonna hate, you do you, and that's all you have to worry about. But in the long term, there's something about this that you're gonna go home at night and take on that energy of And I don't know if this is you or just a dynamic in the group, but it's like, I feel left out. Like, why doesn't anyone like me? Why aren't my ideas being heard? Like, what's with this? Especially if you work in a group of 3 or 4, someone there is feeling isolated, and whether that's you or not, something about that is going to impact your success in that role, in that project, in that company. And it may involve working with an ex, especially if some opportunity here has to do with working with an ex or someone you were romantically involved with or are currently romantically involved with. It's going to get messy, and yeah, there's going to be drama. It's going to suck. You suck, right? The lollipop, the sucker. It's going to suck. That's literally what I'm hearing. All right, moving on. Let's see what else we can get for you. A lot of you are going to leave a romantic partner or someone who you feel very, I don't know if it's trapped by, but it may be a parent, it may be a sibling, it may be someone who you feel is negatively impacting your, it's not really financial success, it's more your career path. It's like, I want to go this way, and you have someone almost like a lead weight, but no, we're staying here. I think you're going to be like, well, I guess that's that. The most Sagittarius fashion. Savage Sagittarius. I'm just kidding. I love my Saggy gang. All right. What is this about? Something about the birds or flight? Flight, are you a pilot? Are you taking flight courses? Are you flying to the interview? Something about taking flight. And it's bittersweet. You're having to leave someone behind who you do love, but the fashion industry calls. Yeah. Something about animal furs or fashion. Yeah, like eccentric fashion prints. Yeah, like clothing, the modeling industry, lots of like glitzy merchandise. It could be jewelry, it could be hats, it could be shoes. I don't know what that is. 10 of Cups. You may be entering something that is a family business. The majority of the people you work with are already like a set group. And that may be a metaphor also for why you're feeling a little bit left of center. It's like, well, they're siblings. They know each other in and out. Like they have a shorthand when they talk to each other, and you're like, but I have no idea what they're talking about, and I feel, I don't know, it's like you're beating yourself up about something, but I don't really like that energy. Like, it's unwarranted or unnecessary. But also, you know, be careful of the vibe that you're hanging out with, right? I know Sagittarians tend to be very sociable and typically are not grudgeful people. It's like, you know, people fuck up, but then there's a sense of, all right, whatever, life is short, let's get back to having fun. I think you're going to do that, and yet there's something that I can't put my finger on it because I don't think you can put your finger on it. It's like a vibe of the group that you're kind of like, I don't know. Yeah, a lot of you are leaving a marriage. You're getting out of a marriage. You're going from married to single. These are very much like marriage, love, romance cards, and this is like, well, that was fun. And I don't mean to be so unsympathetic. I'm sure for some of you it actually is a very like bittersweet or head over heart decision. I'm not saying it's lacking love, but yeah, there's a sense of going rogue, going independent, especially if you are reliant on another person's bank account. Sagittarius, you may be finally being like, all right, I got to do this on my own, especially if you have a parent who, I'm not quite sure how to phrase this, and I never mean to offend, but if you have a parent who is like a little bit manipulative about, you can't leave me, I'm your mother, you can't do this, I'm your father, or the opposite, a way of like, well, why would you pay for that? Like, I'm your provider, like, I'm going to get that for you. Like, I don't know if it's sugar daddy, sugar mama type, I don't know what it is, but there's a little bit of like a manipulative, you can't do this because I own you. It is very oppressive, so I understand why some of you may be feeling like, this is just not for me, like I'm not feeling it. Some of you are going to get into a career that's very spiritual with these cards. The Pope, the Priest, the Hermit, Father Time, shining a light on, or it's really like in introspection, shining a light on yourself, on your heart, on your spirituality. Some of you may be a leader in some sort of group. It could be a musical group. It could be a spiritual group. It could be a yoga group. It could be, something about leading the group, which that to me is such a like great place for Sagittarius, right? Some of you may be teachers or professors, standing up in front of a large crowd. So you have this card twice. Is there a significant Virgo in your life? It may also involve a Taurus or a Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. I don't know what this message is. Give me a second. What is this about? Yeah, there's something that you need to sacrifice regarding your place in a family or in the family to go off and do something on your own, to claim your independence. To get back something that you feel like you've had to sacrifice by being with someone or with a company or working tagline I heard. What is that? Tag team with a certain person. It's not to say it's all been bad, but you're at a point where I think you're getting antsy and you've grown out of that place or that position. So it's, onward and upward. That's very much the vibe here. Some of you may not be leaving a husband or wife, but there's something, maybe you're going back to school and you would have to do something where you can't spend as much time with the family or with the gang, with the best friends. It's requiring you to step up and distance yourself from something to pursue something greater in your spiritual path, whether or not your career is spiritual or not. You're being set down your own road or something like that. I'm sort of seeing hitchhikers or someone at the side of the road with like a backpack. Are you hitchhiking or, I'm sure that's a symbol for something. What is that? Traveling? Are you backpacking across the country? Some of you are absolutely doing that. Okay, interesting. In the pursuit of knowledge, Knight of Swords, upping your knowledge, upping your degree, getting more information, getting more wisdom. There's something very important you need to communicate to a water sign, possibly a Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, or a Virgo. There may be multiple Virgos involved here. Something about the wife, possibly. And I'm not trying to make this romantic by any means. It's just, if the messages come up, I kind of feel like I have to address them a little bit. Yeah, okay, so there's a conflict that you've been avoiding because it's laced or layered with a lot of emotion. And you, Sagittarius, you're just like, no, I don't want that. Yeah, so you're coming to speak your mind, say your piece. Now here's the thing, he doesn't look angry. A lot of times the Knight of Swords can be very aggressive, very blunt, very savage, really. This is not that. This may even be a kind word. This may be something very positive, but the topic of it is Three of Swords. Again, not the most intimidating Three of Swords. This is like, all right, I gotta face my fears and do it. I gotta go in that room and say the thing I need to say to the person. It could be your father, it could be your mother, it could be your spouse, it could be your child. I don't know what it would be. For others of you, though, this has to do with a job offer reaching out to you. But again, it's said in a very nice way, but this feels like, I'm sorry, we're not going to be able to move forward with it. And again, I'm being called to say whatever offer that is, and I'll be honest, Sag, that could be a third offer. If you're putting out apps everywhere, there's going to be one that I think you're disappointed or angry that they declined, but it wasn't for you. It wasn't for you. It wasn't for your spiritual path. Essentially, it was like you were never meant to work with this group. You were meant to go rogue. You were meant to go solo or to pursue something else. Whenever the Hermit comes up in a career spread, it very much talks about independent entrepreneurial spirit. So I'm not saying that has to be your entire world, but for those who have a main job and a side hustle, you're really being encouraged to work on the side hustle. Even if that side hustle is a group of your buddies doing something and making money, again, it's not the main, it's like the side. It's the wild card. It's you know what I mean? It's the more independent spirit of the. And interesting, as I said that's an award, isn't it, in filmmaking, the Independent Spirit Award. So for my artists, whether it's filmmaking or writing books or this or that, something about putting more time into your creative projects, shining a light, on your creative or spiritual projects, absolutely. Something about riding on like ocean liners or boats or cruise ships or something on the water. I don't know if it's jet skis or maybe you're selling that kind of equipment, something that you would use or do on the water, lakes, ponds, oceans, rivers. Maybe you're going whitewater rafting. I don't know, especially if you're going on some sort of trip. It almost feels like a pilgrimage. It's like you get out of, I'm just going to say, for a lot of you, you may be fresh out the gate of a relationship of some kind. And it's like there's this newfound freedom. And yeah, there's something about, for the time being, I got to catch up. I've been falling behind on doing all the things and the stuff and the activities. So it sort of feels like there's this liberation. And again, it's happy. It's like, I'm going to go do this now. I'm free. Maybe you are out of a job that you didn't like, or maybe you left a job, or again, maybe there was some sombering news of, hey, sorry, we're going to have to let you go. Again, don't make that your message if you don't want it to be. It's not going to be. That message is very specific, but in a way, I don't know if you're ready to hear this, in a way it's going to be a blessing in disguise because it's shedding light on what actually makes you happy. The things you actually want to do in your life with your career, okay? Also, winter activities. So same thing I said, when the lakes freeze over, are you ice skating? Are you tobogganing? And I don't know why it's being expressed to me as like fun activities, but maybe you sell outerwear apparel for that. Or do you know what I mean? Like, you're going to have to interpret that message for whatever it means to you. Maybe you're selling real estate. Maybe you're selling lakes on homes and properties by the ocean. Something about on or by the water. The water is very important, and you're shining a light on the water. That's how I would say it. Maybe you're a fisherman. It's because a lot of you, not all of you, are still trying to figure out exactly where your niche is, niche market, or exactly, it's like there's a very wide umbrella, but you're trying to figure out what piece of it you like best. And so I think it's like you're trying it all out. You're testing it all out. It's like Goldilocks and the Three Bears. It's like you got a room full of beds and you're like, is this one good? I don't know. Like, let me try this. Is this bed good? Like, you're trying different things on for size. Again, fashion wear, clothing, that's a message too. But there's a sense of, all right, I'm on to it. Like, I'm like the breadcrumb trail is sort of what I'm getting. You're following a path, but it's meant to be a path of self-discovery of what really makes you happy, of who really makes you happy, of what, again, activity, job, whatever, that you really enjoy. And again, such a beautiful, like, Sagittarian quality. It's just like, life is an adventure. Let's have fun. Like, if we're going to do something, if we're going to work our ass off, let's make some money and let's have fun doing it. This is like, I actually love this card here. It's like, this is an assessment of the levels of fun, the percentages of fun that you can have doing this, or again, measuring the fun. It's like you have a fun scale of, well, if I work with this person, we'll grab drinks after work. So that'll be great. You're seeking outlets beyond just the 9 to 5. It's like, what else does this job, this position, this title offer me? And that's fantastic. That's exactly what the universe is wanting you to do. To shine a light on your heart, to shine a light on your cup, right? The Queen of Cups. I understand this is not your elemental, but for some of you, this is representing you. In a sense, you were forced to close off your cup. Do you see that Queen of Cups? Her cup is closed. Her heart is closed off. Her heart is sheltered. Her heart is not being seen. Again, there's like this, I'm not going to show you everything, right? I think we were saying that about these naked people who are vulnerable and showing it all, in their birthday suits. And then you have kind of like this mystery of like, no, who are you? Is there a trust issue with a coworker? Do you feel like you had to pull back on someone who you shared a lot with? That could be money-wise too. If you were in a collaboration where there was unequal distributions of money, it feels like there was a pullback. Again, I'm seeing like the ocean tides, the pullback of the ocean, where you're reassessing either who you love or who you want to work with. And I'm not going to lie, it's a bit of a conundrum, but it doesn't mean you're not going to have fun doing it. But there's a lot of pieces and evidence and facts to look at. Maybe some of you are like detectives or something like that. Are you a fun detective? Just the facts, ma'am. Fun police. No, I'm kidding. All right. It all ends well, though. Beautiful card to end on, the Sun. Tell me a little bit more about that. Some of you are going to work with children. You're going to be a school teacher. Some of you are going to teach horseback riding. Some of you are going to be involved with animal therapy, art therapy as well, helping people. It could be people who are challenged or disabled express themselves through art, particularly music and painting. Again, fashion wear. I keep seeing that. Hats, clothes, shoes, bags, gloves, jewelry, accessories for your dog, anything like that. Anything that allows people to express themselves in a creative way. Yeah, your cards are kick-ass. So whatever this little, ooh, this is a little uncomfortable. I'm not whatever this is really. It's there's a sense of dread here, but here's the thing. If and only if this does indicate a layoff or a firing or a furlough, this would not come out of nowhere. You would have been anticipating this for weeks, if not months. It doesn't come out of nowhere. So again, if that could possibly be your scenario, forewarned is forearmed, right? If you're anticipating, oh, my company is doing a lot of layoffs, well, get on your horse and start putting out those applications all over the place, right? You will sell yourself on your personality, Sagittarius. There's something very charismatic about you. People want to work with you. People naturally like you. People are naturally drawn to you. Fire sign, right? Our eyes go to the fire. It lights up. It's magnetic. It's amazing. There's wish fulfillment and happiness up ahead for you. So whatever the situation is that you're going through now, the deck is headed in a very positive way, but I don't know if it has to do with severing ties with someone or let's go back to this. This is huge, but I'm struggling to get the entire thing there. I do think there's trust issues with someone. Again, it could be with your mother or your wife or your husband, someone who you feel like they were controlling you because of the money. The money what was keeping you back. And so again, you guys already know Spirit is encouraging you to do it on your own, to be self-sufficient, to be self-reliant, right? To not depend on someone else's bank account, right? It doesn't matter what age you are, whether you're 16 or 60, it's good to be able to stand on your own 2 feet. And to me, this says you have every ability to do so when you decide you want that. But I think you also like to be taken care of, right? The baby, right? You like to be taken care of. But you also want your freedom, and that's where it gets complicated. If you're going to depend on someone, and I'm not saying this is right, but if you're going to depend on someone, there's a sense of, oh, well, I own you then. And you're like, no, you don't. Nope, that's not a thing. Your independence is where your happiness lies. So you need to find a job where you feel self-sufficient, where you feel independent, where you feel like your voice matters, but also that you have a sense of your own or you have a saying in your own fate, in your own destiny. In a sense, it's like you need to make the rules. Again, in a situation where you are the leader, you're being asked to step up and lead, whether it's independently in your own life or possibly for the group. One-to-one mentorship, I'm almost getting like big brother, big sister. Again, that's probably not a job. I think that's volunteer, but something about that would be very, very useful for you. One-to-one relationships, mentoring, Sagittarius. You would be an incredible mentor, especially with young kids, with children, people who need very positive influence on their life, because if anybody is going to remind them of this, Sagittarians are the one who are very much in touch with their inner child. And if you're not, well, maybe that's what you're being steered to do, to get back in touch with what you wanted as a kid. And I'm not saying, all the candy in the candy store, right? You understand what I mean? It's like doing what makes you happy simply because it does. That's what you gravitate towards. That's what you flock to. And yeah, you would have a tremendous impact over children because you acknowledge their dreams and wishes, and just, again, that sense of like, I'm alive and isn't the world a wonderful place? Some of you have not been feeling that way, but again, you may be asking for permission or waiting for someone to grant you access when maybe you're supposed to go out and do it for yourself. You're supposed to go out and build your own business. You're supposed to go out and do your own thing. Some of you could be wedding planners or work in host event planning. Again, something about flight or real estate, if any of that makes sense. Find a career that brings you peace of mind, where you get home at the end of the day and you're tired but not exhausted. Or, okay, if you don't mind the word exhausted, you're exhausted but you felt like you made a difference in the world. Find a job that helps you sleep at night. Because a lot of you are anxious. You're losing sleep over something. And it has to do with feeling like you're meant to go travel and do something, but someone is putting the kibosh on it. This Empress, I don't know who that is in your life, male or female, doesn't matter. Someone is pulling the strings, and it's like you feel like you have to sneak out the door, like you have to tiptoe around them. Maybe it's your boss, right? It could be a lot of different people, but we got to figure out what that is. I'm actually being called to say, take the money and run. Don't literally do that from your company, but cash in your check and take that vacation or travel the world. Again, we said something about like backpacking across the country, right? There's something valuable in that for you, Sagittarius. Meeting people, hearing people's stories, relating to people, going on the adventure. All right, let's do a quick money poll. Let's see, what do the cards say about money? New deck? Let's do a new deck. All right, for Sagittarius, my Jupiter gang. Tell me about Sagittarian's money outlook. Let's say just in the next month. There is a golden opportunity. There's a golden ticket, Charlie Buckets. There is a golden opportunity. Knight of Swords, a need to focus on your education. Some of you may be spending a little money to get the degree or the extra oomph, the extra program, the extra whatever. You'll see the reward of money in the future, but it's not here now. That's for some of you. Some of you are going to, and you don't have to, I'm just reading the cards. Some of you are going to blow a shitload of money on travel, on like a vacation, or it's almost like this month your bank account is going to go in the negative because you're really dishing it out. But if that's the case, it says that you already have money, so you'll know if that's your thing. Travel, yeah, no, a lot of you are going back to school. Some of you may work for criminal justice, I heard, or any sort of law degree, a lawyer, a judge, a this, a that, yeah, anything involving law. Especially, yeah, I'm hearing like working with criminals, but in a very just humanitarian way. I'm not exactly sure what that would be called. I mean, sort of criminal justice, but more than that. It could even be volunteer work to help get people back on track. Sagittarius, absolutely. Money, I know, we're asking about money. Okay, yeah, so that pretty much sums it up for me. Money is there, but it's about stagnant. It's a little bit frozen. I don't think it's bad. In fact, you have very positive cards indicating that money could grow fast in the future, but we're not there yet. Again, taking flight or traveling, there may be pockets of money somewhere on that path for you. I'm not sure what that is. There is a need to intellectual study, to go back and read the documents. You might be signing a contract, in which case money will come, but it's not here yet. That's what I mean. There's something involving an action forward that you have to take before you get the offer, before you get to sign the contract, before you get to sign on the dotted line for your book deal, your movie deal, your whatever this is. It's almost like in the coming month, the money you have, hold on to it, especially if you're not raking in the dough. Maybe don't blow your entire bank account on the vacation because the ground is frozen. It's not fertile right now. There aren't crops just popping up everywhere. There's a need to be patient. And I know this is driving you nuts, Sagittarius, but this is the slowest moving night in the deck. It's Earth energy. I don't think you're going to see major pops in your bank account or money for the next several months. It's not to say you're going to be broke and destitute, not at all. If anything, you're just going to take it as like, okay, time to play, especially for some of my Sagittarius who get furloughed. You're like, this is amazing. I got time for everything now. Now, my Sag Cap cuspers, you guys will be dreading that. I understand that. And I'm not saying that's everybody's story, but be wise with your money. That's really the biggest kind of suggestion from these cards. Very positive cards, but I did ask about money and money. Look, she's clutching to it, right? It's like, okay, this is what I got. I got to protect it. I got to hold on to it. And I know by nature that is not you, Sagittarius, but you know, you're watching a tarot reading. That's the advice or guidance. Keep your money close and your enemies closer. No, I'm just kidding. All right, let's talk about love. Good Lord, too long videos. Tell me about love for Sagittarius. Time stamping for love. Ooh, Leo. A long-term relationship with a Leo. 10 of Pentacles. Beautiful. Generational. Hey, you're going to be hanging out with your family a lot. Especially if you have, the wife, the husband, the kids, the this, the that. Beautiful family energy. Could also say that you're taking it to the next level. If you've already been with someone for quite a long time, it could be that you're like, yeah, let's do this. Let's get hitched, babe. Most of you, though, you're just going to be hanging out with your family, your soul tribe, your group of friends, the people who have been rocks in your life, the constant, the consistent ones. This is really, really strong, beautiful energy. But tell me about romance. Long-term relationships with a Leo are looking awesome. Celebrating weddings and anniversaries, going out on fancy dinner dates with Scorpio and Taurus. Okay, if you're interested in one of those signs, but they are married or committed, there's probably going to be a divorce there or a separation, so you may slide in the near-ish future. I wouldn't instigate third-party shit, but yeah, if you're interested in a Taurus or a Scorpio, maybe those two are together and you're like, I got my eye on that Scorpio, you actually may have an in there. Or if you strongly resonate with Scorpio, if you're a cusper, you may be cutting a Taurus loose because they're selfish. And I'm not saying all Tauruses are selfish, right? We know that. I'm just in that example. So then you have choices. You're at a bit of a crossroads. Tell me about that. And these are different messages, guys, right? I'm just throwing out some scenarios. Between a Capricorn, possibly the mother of your children, if that makes sense. And yeah, exactly. This is exactly what that message was. Or flying off to do your own thing, to seeking freedom. I don't know how to say this and not offend you. I'm just going to say it. An element of they want me to be responsible, but this is like Peter Pan complex. I always want to be a little boy and have fun. And I'm not saying you're wrong or right. I'm just posing there's someone who's very interested in you, but they're very serious about, I want a commitment. And you're kind of like, yeah, we'll talk about it later, bye. Like, not wanting to step up and be responsible or be the head of the household, especially if there's like a baby mama or a baby daddy involved here. Yeah, I have to be honest, this is your card, Sag. I'm not getting great vibes there, like you may be ducking out of responsibility. So again, take that if you want to, and if not, you know, sometimes the truth hurts. I'm just kidding. All right, let's get some new messages for love. Always the 9 of Wands. All right, for those who work as healers, especially doctors and nurses, or that could be a profession of someone you're interested in. They're exhausted. They're burning the candle at both ends. They're very involved in their work. And they have options too. So I think this is someone you're interested in, but you're not quite getting a vibe if they're interested back. They're very preoccupied with their work, and it's not to say that they don't like you or they're not interested. They just haven't decided yet. They have 2 offers coming to them. This is someone else, Sagittarius. I mean, it could be you as well, but yeah, no, because there's someone here who's concerned. Like, well, do they like me? Did I say something wrong? It's not that you said anything wrong. They're just like they're like a chemist. They work in a lab. They're very serious. They're very studious, and so at the end of the day, when it comes to dating and romance, they're like, I don't know, like, do I choose Sagittarius or do I choose Virgo? Or it's the opposite. It's kind of like, I have so much going on in my life right now. Work is a certainty. I got work on lock. Where does love and romance fit in my life? It's not a no, but they're very in their head. They're still trying to figure out their own life and their career path, their dating life. So give me one more on that for clarification. It's probably a water sign, a Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. And you watch them from afar. I don't know if that's on social media or what the deal is, but the mermaid. I don't know what that is. I think I said that in Taurus's reading too. Something about a mermaid. I don't know. Maybe it's to do with a Taurus. Ooh, who's the one that's bringing anarchy to your life? They're super messy and disorganized. You work with them or you're in some sort of group with them, but it's argumentative, it's chaotic, it's very likely an Aries. It's someone who, yeah, they're by nature, they're very controlling, and I think you're kind of scared of them. In fact, this may be like, again, I mean this with a big heart, but there may be like daddy issues involved here. Like you may have ended up dating someone who's just like your domineering father, and all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute, what am I doing? Like, yeah, there's not great vibes attached to there. 5 of Wands, the Emperor, and the 8 of Wands, all out of sorts, running amok. I don't like that energy at all. It feels mean, it feels competitive, it feels controlling. Nope, don't like that. All right, give me another good one. We started off pretty strong. One more for Sagittarius. Let's do a positive one for those curious in someone or starting to date them. Okay. Knight of Pentacles. Okay, so there will be an offer from someone. Tell me more. Possibly an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Ace of Swords, beautiful communication, very likely a new person with the Ace of Swords. It could be on a dating app. It might be someone you work with, you go out for drinks or you go out for coffee or something. And you know, I saw this too in your career spread, especially on a team of 3 or 4. Careful with that, because it might get awkward if you guys start grabbing drinks after work and you start to date, you know, fine. Only it's gonna mess with the group dynamic at work and feelings are gonna get hurt because people are extra sensitive. It's like, but you know, you're my boyfriend, you're my girlfriend, you're supposed to stick up for me. It's like, yeah, but like we're at work, you know, you were wrong. Like it could get very messy with coworkers, particularly in a small group. So Sagittarius, just watch yourself. Just watch yourself. But yeah, there's lighthearted flirtation here. This person has a really cute pet, probably a kitty cat or a dog or something, or a hamster. That's funny. And then 3 of Wands. So, okay, but the timing of this might not be just right because you may have met this person and they had to go away on business or they had to go visit their family. I think it will start back up again, but there's something about the delay in which you can see them. It feels very on again, off again, but it's not out of malicious. It's not someone who goes dark on you. It's not someone who blocks you and then unblocks you. It's not that. It's just like, it's one of those frustrations of like, oh, why didn't we meet 6 months earlier? Gah, like, because now you got to go to New York, and it's something like that. Messaging will continue, and it's kind of like the ... Like, we'll see where this goes. But you're rushing in head first. You caught feelings for them. So it's kind of saying, hold on to your butts. That's what Samuel L. Jackson says in Jurassic Park, right? Hold on to your butts. Hold on, because it's not going to take off with flying colors. It's not to say the potential won't be there in the future. You'll probably have to fly to go see them, which I know doesn't bother you. But yeah, this could be a cozy coupling. I don't think when this person is away, they're cheating or actively pursuing other things. They're probably going away to school or going away to... I don't know what it is, but there's potential there, but you guys are going to miss the shit out of each other. So, like, keep the emotions in check. Stay very grounded. Hold on. Like, let's not let this get out of control. Like, let's not leap before we look. Let's do the opposite. It's not totally together yet, but it does have potential. That's what I'm getting. All right, Saggies, that's what I got for you. Please do like, share, subscribe. Let me know in the comments below what resonates. I will see you very soon for more tarot. Bye.